Our motoring tip of the week concerns unforeseen problems. Classic example of said problem right here, this radiator. Now, as a mechanic, I definitely fear this because when the car's in my charge or immediately after I've worked on it, you're the man of record, right? So if something goes wrong that you didn't foresee, you can look pretty bad. Now in this case, that wasn't the case. It had been quite a few months since the car had had anything, but regardless of that, if I'd looked at the car the day before, I never would have known that this nipple in the bottom of the radiator was going to fall out. And it basically fell out. It's an aluminum fitting, and it threads into a piece of aluminum in the radiator, and it got corrosion on it, and it disintegrated, and this came right out. Literally came right out overnight while the car was parked. Guy drove the car home one day, no leakage, comes out the next morning, giant pool of antifreeze in the driveway. He's not sure even if it was from his car because he'd had no previous problem, but it completely drained the radiator coolant out this area here where the nipple had fallen out. And because this nipple is the transmission cooler fitting, transmission fluid goes in here, comes out there and is cooled in the bottom of the radiator. As soon as he started the engine, the transmission pumped 5 liters of automatic transmission fluid out onto the driveway and mixed with all the engine coolant too. So now his recently repaved driveway is a big time oil slick and mess, and the car won't move. You take 5 liters of transmission fluid out of an automatic transmission, it's not picking up any more fluid, won't create pressure, it won't move. And if he'd continued to run it, he would have damaged the transmission and the engine from overheating. No coolant, no fluid in the transmission. Had the presence of mind to shut it off and call me. Now, something like this, if I'd looked at this car even the day before, I couldn't have predicted or seen that this was going to happen. It's just one of those things. And this car was 12 model years old with 300,000 K. There's a question mark beside every part, including this one. They can and will fail, and sometimes you just can't predict it even with an inspection. So the tip here, CAA plus, because a repair like this is definitely a tow-in. If you're going to fix this, you're not doing it on the side of the road or in your driveway. So membership with a motor league like CAA plus, a great thing. That's your motoring tip of the week.